This is the LowcoSports Lowdown podcast. Here are your hosts, Justin Jarrett and Wes Kerr.
Hey, welcome to the LowcoSports Lowdown Tuesday night edition, Heritage Week Tuesday night edition. Good times happening all around, and here's Max coming in hot.
Sorry, fellas.
No worries.
Wi-Fi.
No worries. We just
Wi-Fi
just shame you now for being late, but it's all good. No, it's all good. Welcome all, Justin Jarrett, Wes Kerr, Max Arraj, bringing you the lowdown tonight. And before we go, too deep into it, we will talk a little bit later. I got out to the end of May River Philip Simmons baseball, fun little non-region exhibition, walk-off win for the Sharks. We'll talk about that a little bit.
It's been walk-off city this week.
Yeah, it has been. But we do have a special guest with us to talk Heritage, because it is Heritage Week. And Brian Riedfeld's got to be down there at the Caddy Barn early in the morning, but he stayed up late with us tonight. So let's get him in here, our resident Lowco golf expert. I think you qualify as that. You eat, sleep, and breathe this stuff, brother. And I know you are excited for what's got to be the best Heritage field ever. I mean, can't be one that had more than 43 of the top 50 players in the world, right?
Between this year, last year was incredible as well, and of course the COVID year being the second or third year back. So those three by far are the best, and then only 69 total players this year too.
Right. Yeah, which is crazy.
Wow.
Feels like there's gonna be a little more space out there to breathe a little bit, but also a bunch of new seating and stuff too.
Yeah. Just tell us about what's new this year.
Yeah, there's definitely some new sky boxes. We got some new boxes on hole 1 off the tee box. There'll probably be a little bit more energy, I would imagine, on number 1. You got a little skybox behind the tee and onto the side there. So looks pretty good. I think you may have to know somebody. I don't think it's for general admission, more the white collar. But there's some other new grandstands. It looks good. The course looks insane as usual. Very dry out there on Monday. So, the weather looks like it's going to stay fairly dry till the weekend, possibly.
Yeah.
There you go.
Seats on 1. It was at least today open to the public, but obviously that may change when we get to tournament rounds. But
I mean, that's a pretty grandiose opening there, especially compared to what we're used to.
Right. Yeah. It's good luck. I like it.
Yeah.
You can probably also see what's going on 9 Green from up there, I would think.
Possibly. You remember they've added grandstands there last year, even
That's
more
right.
so I'm not sure.
Yeah, they did come around a little bit more. Yeah, because they put them in the back last year, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
For the first time. That's right.
Yeah.
So you may not be able to see down over that, but no, I love to see more seating. Did you get out there today?
I did not make it out there today. I'll head out there tomorrow for the Pro-Am. And it's looking good. Like, everybody's showing up. I'm sure we'll talk about old Scheffler here in a second, but Gamecock fans, we got Coach Paris and Coach Beamer will be out there playing in the Pro-Am tomorrow.
Oh, nice.
As well.
Good times.
Very cool.
It's always a who's who of the celebrity end of the Pro-Am is pretty good usually at the Heritage. So there should be some good ones. Maybe any Gamecock women's hoopers or anything?
I did like a quick skim through. I didn't see any other big names like usual. Those were the 2 that popped up. I'm sure there'll be a few others. I didn't see any. No Coach Staley. No Cardoso.
But Scotty is here. I heard from somebody who saw him at the airport. So it's confirmed that he did in fact
star of the golfing world. Scotty Scheffler.
He did in fact matriculate.
Breathing our same air.
He's got 9:27 a.m. tee time tomorrow, and then has media after that. So I'm sure there'll be a lot of folks gathering around for that. I'm going to try to get out there in the morning and catch that because it's not been all that often that we had a guy who was number one in the world and just won the Masters. Get up here. It doesn't happen that frequently, so that he comes to our backyard. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and he's coming in hot. Obviously, I was just checking the local or the odds for those out there. I mean, he's still the favorite at 4-1 this week, coming in hot off that victory. So
yeah,
I mean, he obviously proved he's the best of the best. On Sunday.
He's playing phenomenally. What we got? I saw Scotty's dad today, and his dad was at the tournament today. All right, there you go. Man, we got eyes and ears everywhere, folks.
Yeah.
Incredible field, though. The stat that blew my mind that we talked about last night was that Justin Thomas is the 26th highest ranked golfer in the field at number 30. And if he was number 31, he wouldn't have gotten in. That was his exemption in.
He got in kind of last second there. He was on the cusp.
That's crazy. I mean, that really brings into perspective the change in the field from what we've been accustomed to with a full field event. And, having some guys you never heard of basically jump up and win it a few times. That's not happening this year. You know who these guys are.
Yeah, there are a few, maybe less than household names.
Rietveld knows who they are at least.
Yeah.
No, it's heavy hitter after heavy hitter. I mean, it is when we were just looking at the Pro-Am list tomorrow. I mean, whenever you got to go down and like Adam Schenk is like the guy you're like, oh, okay. Like, but it's household name left and right, from Cam Young to Morikawa to, Rory, infamously skipped this tournament last year where it cost him $3 million. Remember, he got fined $3 million for not coming. So it's loaded. I mean, this will be the best field we ever have.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah, it's unreal. Here are your Pro-Am tee times, by the way. Who you like this week, Reed?
You always go to. We were a little bit early. Me and Wes 2 years ago, and I think Wes ended up picking Fitzpatrick again last year. But me and him picked him 2 years ago. And he missed the cut on us, and then came back and won it last year, which was fantastic. And obviously Jordan went the year before. You find the hot ball striker, the guy who is just absolutely striking it. Everybody and their brother is going to be on Xander Schauffele this week, and rightfully so. He's top 10 machine, approach top 5 left and right. I'm leaning Patrick Cantlay. I'm leaning Xander Schauffele, and then kind of my outside guy, Tommy Fleetwood.
Yeah.
It's a ball striking paradise, and those three guys absolutely strike it.
What about Cam Young? He's played pretty well here a couple of times.
Cam Young, absolutely. He had top 5 or so last year.
Top 3 a couple of years ago. Tied for third 2 years ago.
And
I'm interested to see how Will Zalatoris plays. Because I know he's playing in the RBC Heritage. I'm interested to see how he hangs.
Played really well here, coming off that Masters run a couple years ago.
Yeah. So I mean, he could be due for it. So let's see how he does. Yeah.
JT Poston as well.
I think we mentioned him the other day.
Yeah, I'm kind of sleeping on him too.
Yeah, Poston.
Yeah, I feel like I gotta go back to Cantlay because that was my pick a couple years ago. He almost won it, so I feel like I gotta back him again. Although maybe I'm not as high as him as I was back then, but he's still a threat to win here, especially if his putter can get hot. That's been one of the trademarks of his game. And then Xander Schauffele has been also a trendy name coming into the event. He's been performing well coming in. Solid finish at the Masters. So he's been right there. And someone, I mean he almost won it back to back last year. Just came up short in the playoff against Matty Fitzpatrick. But back to Schauffele, like he's been right on the doorstep of really getting back to the winner's circle on the tour. And this is someone with a really strong collection of tools in his box when it comes to his game. And, I think that he's going to be someone to keep an eye on. I feel like he's always right there in contention at some of these big events. So definitely you want to keep an eye on Shopley. Finished 8th at Augusta. Zalatoris also with a top 10 finish, tied for 9th. So it's always cool to see the couple of names who get some notoriety. And then Aberg, the Swede, is he coming?
Yeah.
He's here. He is here.
Yeah. Is he? Oh.
Is Oberg? How do you
Man,
say this?
Oberg.
Oberg, yes.
No Hovland, though. Your boy withdrew.
Oh,
that's your boy, right, Reed? Hovland.
Yeah, Hovland's going through some stuff. So yeah, Hovland checked out this week. That's okay. It stinks for me.
Between him and Brian Harmon, my FanDuel team didn't do so hot last week.
He looked good there for a second.
But yeah, man. So I guess what else? What else about this year's Heritage?
I would take a look at Cam Davis. If you recall, a couple years ago, he came out, fired like a 62, 63 opening round. And he's always a name that you forget about when it comes to this tournament, but he always plays really, really well here. So if you're building like a FanDuel or a DraftKings team, I don't think you can pass up Cam Davis. He's probably going to be on a lot of teams, but I do like him this week. And again, Fleetwood, he still hasn't won in the United States. And
Jesus.
Exactly. And
this is the place, right? I mean, if he's going to win in the U.S., it's like here, Colonial. Like there's a pretty short list of places, and you'd think this would be one of them.
And he shows up at big events as well, kind of going back to some of Wes's points about Xander. But like Fleetwood shows up in big, hard tournaments. And this field is now hard, or this tournament is now hard with this insane field. So I think he'll elevate. I think he'll be in the mix on Sunday. I'm telling you, if it doesn't rain, it's going to get a little crispy out there.
Yeah. I want to ask you about some of these other guys that kind of piqued my interest. First of all, Brian Harmon, partially local product. Of course, he's from the Savannah area. He just won the Open Championship last year. Savannah's right next door, a next door neighbor. So it's local. We
watched
not
him grow up
in the Lowcountry. Yes, he won the Players Amateur. He's forever tied to this area, but he's a guy that I want to put on my radar. Corey Connors, the Canadian, is always seemingly performed well here, and I expect he could be in the mix. And then you look at Max Homa, who had a nice week at the Masters. What can you do to follow that up? And then Kevin Kistner seems like a guy. So he came in as a sponsor exemption from what I'm seeing here on the PGA Tour website.
Ranked 541st in the world.
That pick.
But I'm putting his name up there just because he's done well on this course before, and these kinds of opportunities are breeding grounds for some cool stories like that, to see a guy come out of nowhere. And
it would be an incredible story if he won it.
That would be crazy. Yeah, that would be a crazy story. Webb Simpson's another name too.
Yeah,
Webb Simpson's another name that I'd be like keeping an eye on.
I don't think Reed like the sponsors exemptions particularly.
We were sitting here bragging about like how amazing this field is. It could have been even better, and they invited Webb Simpson. I guess you could go with like the legacy. Right. RBC guy, past champion. It's like, but it's been a year and a half since he's done really anything on tour. And Kevin Kisner is, he's lost it. He's doing great in the booth, when he's been called up. He's going to be great TV. But a no-cut event, for $20 million, and you go and you give Kevin Kisner the sponsors exemption.
But there's nothing to lose if you're Kistner.
It's a paycheck.
Yeah, I'm with you there, man. His caddy absolutely had a party. Yeah,
it's a huge paycheck.
Could have made somebody's career, though. That's true. But it is what it is. Welcome to professional sports.
Obviously it's a small field, but are there any deep sleepers that you've been researching or have an eye on that may not stand out initially from the rest.
Well, definitely it's not a deep sleeper because he's going to be up there on the odds and he's going to be expensive on your DraftKings. But Sahith Theegala, he's 35-1, and he seems to love it here. Like his history here is fantastic. He was tied for 5th last year, and when you look at his game, you don't necessarily say Harbor Town, but he's played really, really well here. And he's one to, when he gets hot, man, he's a streaky dude. And when he starts grooving, man, there's very few people who can beat him. So I would definitely put him in the mix. I really don't think me and Justin kind of went back and forth, like jokingly today. Like everybody always talks about like, oh, how are they going to mentally prepare for Harbor Town after the stressful week of the
pressure cooker that is the Masters.
Right. And it's like, I get it. And I understand they need to talk about something, but the only guy who's going to be really wore out from that's going to be, of course, Scheffler.
Right. He's on the winner's hangover.
And there's a 1,000 things, but everybody else should be good to go.
I think
he's got a kid on the way, so I mean that puts even more pressure.
Yeah, he's got a lot, but he's got a lot going on.
Golf is
he managed to hold it together pretty well last week.
I think he said in the presser, like golf is my 5th priority right now, below my new kid coming in, and so put things in perspective. And
I was thinking about that today, Reed. I was like, well, I mean, our wives had babies, and like we had to go to work, and she could have had the baby any day, like he's just going to work. I think he's able to compartmentalize it and understand that I'm going to work. It's a little different because he can't just get in the car and drive home, but he's got a plane at the ready. So it's not like it's going to be a problem for him. He's got it all squared away. He'll be able to get there. But no, I always got a kick out of that. How could they get ready again? It's like, well, first of all, they had 3 days off. They do this every week. This is not a new concept. And they're just showing up to play a golf tournament. Like it's not, and this one's a no cut guaranteed paycheck event too. So there's like no pressure. You're on vacation and playing a golf tournament and
making money no matter what. Yeah.
And if you play well for a couple of days and you find yourself in the mix, then you got to lock in and find that extra year. But if not, that's okay too. I think they'll be all right. I think they'll make it. But well, hey, thanks, man. Thanks for jumping on with this. We'll definitely try to call on you throughout the week to break it down, at least at the end, and tell us why it turned out the way it did.
Absolutely. Appreciate it, guys.
All right.
Happy years, man.
Ryan Rietveld, everybody. Good time talking golf with him as always. And we'll definitely try to get him in as much as we can this week to talk about the Heritage. I know that's his favorite week of the year on the alley. The MVP sponsors of LowcoSports keep us rolling, and it starts with my wife, Megan Jarrett, the official realtor of LowcoSports. She's with Keller Williams of the Lowcountry. She'd love to help you find a place in the Lowco, or maybe upgrade your place in the Lowco. If you want to get your house on the market, get in touch with Megan Jarrett, the official realtor of LowcoSports. Homegrown Home Inspections is our official home inspector. They'll check that home over from top to bottom and make sure you're making a great investment. And if you're building a new home, you got to have that phased inspection. Jan Lucas and his team will check in every step of the way and make sure your home's being built right the first time at Homegrown Home Inspections. And Mickelson Law Firms, our official real estate closing attorney, and the presenting sponsor of our Hilton Head Christian Academy coverage. I'm sure we'll see the Mickle squad out at Heritage. I usually do run into them out there. Mickelson Law Firm, they've been supporting us since the beginning, since 2017. So please call on them for your legal needs at Mickelson Law Firm. And Hospice Care of the Lowcountry, our official hospice provider and the only not-for-profit hospice in Southern Beaufort County. They're the nonprofit of the year from the recent Golden Oyster Awards. And we love everything they do over at Hospice Care of the Lowcountry, where it's not about dying, it's about living. Those are our MVP sponsors, fellas. Let's see. Let's get into what all went down tonight. Actually, before we move on from Heritage, we do have a report from Brady Satcha, who was on the scene today at opening ceremonies and showed us a little bit about the course.
What's up, LowcoSports? It's me, Brady Satcha, and I'm here live at Harbor Town. And guess what I'm standing? I'm standing on some bleachers located on the first tee this year, which are some of the new spots where you guys can watch this tournament from. There's also upgraded and more seats for the general public on hole 18. as well as some other spots throughout the course. Today on Tuesday was the opening ceremony where we saw defending champion Matthew Fitzpatrick hit one into the calibogie with the sound of that great cannon. Also, in the field, we have 8 of the top 10 players in the official World Golf Rankings, and 43 out of the top 50 are going to be playing here in our backyard.
Stuff from Brady Sacha. He'll be out there all week. He's caddying tomorrow. I think he's doing a little, maybe, I don't know if he's doing a standard bearing this year or not. But he'll be around, big golf guy. He'll be around, and he's going to do some reporting to just build his reel and show what he can do out there. And of course, we'll be getting out there a little bit as well, you and I, Wes. So look forward to getting out to the golf course. But we did have some high school sports on tap tonight. Lighter slate with the spring break week, but we did have a few games. Baseball, May River 5-4 over Philip Simmons. Loaded the bases in the 7th and walked it off on a Aaron Guthrie walk. I do have that at bat on video. Barnwell 15-1 over Hampton. Holly Hill Academy 4-2 over Holy Trinity. JP2 9-8 held on, actually rallied and walked off, I believe, Carleton Prep. Good game there. Thomas Hayward 13-0 over Coastal Homeschool. In the softball world, Carleton Prep and JP2 5-5 tie.
Tied. There's no ties in softball.
Yeah, we had a tie in baseball. Hilton had tied game 1 of a doubleheader against Fox Creek the other day.
All right, hello.
Baseball. Yeah. I don't believe in it. Andrew Jackson 9-2 over Patrick Henry in softball. And then soccer girls, Hampton County 4-1 over Barnwell. Palmetto Christian 4-1 over Patrick Henry. Holy Trinity 2-0 over Charleston Collegiate. Holy Trinity's undefeated. They've only played like 6 games, but they're undefeated.
Taking care of business.
Yeah, they played BA in the state championship game last year, and they beat them earlier this year. And then they have a rematch coming up in a couple weeks.
That's a fun rivalry over there.
It's getting pretty good.
Yeah.
And then boys soccer, Patrick Henry 1-0 over Palmetto Christian. So I do have the last at bat of the baseball game. That was ball 1. They rallied. Dylan Seaman got a nice rip, had a really good at bat, got on base. Jordan Reed got on base. And then Jordan went in the pinch run, I think. Somebody else worked their way on. They got the bases loaded, and then Guthrie came up 2-0 now. It was getting rowdy, too. Good. Josh was getting rowdy. Ready to bust out of there. You know the feeling, right, Max? That was like Buffalo, but no gratuitous 3-0 strike ball. Didn't want to end it on that. And then he revs one up there. Getting by him, so it's full. I think Guthrie was quick hitting there, too, so pretty good vote of confidence.
Must have been a good crowd there for that game, too.
Very good crowd.
Pretty solid. Pretty solid crowd.
Hey, they walk it off, literally.
Let him touch first, boys. Let him touch first. The coach in me was like, hey, make him touch first.
Yeah, that's what happened at USCB when was it Rose who got hit by a pitch? And, you got to touch.
Yeah.
He started throwing the ball around like they were going to get her out. Nothing like a walk-off.
Yeah.
It was kind of anticlimactic the way it went down, but a walk-off nonetheless. Yeah. So good win for the Sharks, especially, they pitched off. I did talk to Mullis today. They are trying to give the 2 horses, Corn and Brizington, the week off. So not sure who we'll see tomorrow. Van Esselson still. They still got some guys, so they'll piece it together. Johnny Holstaffet against Buford, and I don't know who Buford will throw if they're trying to give Mullen a week off. Catching and pitching is a lot, so I wouldn't be surprised if they're.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. They got hand to hand, but that's not for another.
Not till next week.
Weeks. Yeah. So it should be interesting to see who Buford puts up there. It might be I'm trying to think of the name. It could be. Well, I don't know. I do know that Dylan Rass didn't play last night for Buford, so could be a possibility there. I doubt it, but we shall see who ends up pitching for both teams.
See what happens.
And now, Kylie Rass-Night got canceled the other night. North Charleston.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, they ended up forfeiting. So Kylie Rass-Night will be now that Tuesday, whatever that is, the 23rd, next Tuesday. The first game of 2 against Hanahan will now be Kylie Rass-Night, which is pretty cool because that's a huge game. Whoever wins that
series,
whoever wins, if somebody sweeps that series, they win the region.
Right.
If they split, I don't know if you get into run differential or what, but so that'll be a big one. Game 1's huge, obviously, because you want to know, you want to get ahead, whatever the tiebreaker is, you want to get a jump on it.
Also, I could be wrong, but I do think Buford Zone is going to be broadcasting that.
I would guess so.
That game. Yeah, that would be my guess. I overheard Coach Rast and Javon talking, so I'm pretty sure that he will be broadcasting that game on, I believe, Tuesday. So should be interesting.
He's also got, he doesn't have that one up there yet as upcoming, but he does have the James Island game on Thursday.
Oh, that's a good one.
Which is a good one. And then Friday they were supposed to play Oceanside, but Oceanside had to reschedule a region game that got rained out. So they had to scrap that one, which is unfortunate. But they get one more good test against James Island and then the 2 with Hanahan, and then we roll to the playoffs. So
playoffs, man.
Getting down to it, baby. I'm excited.
Coming to the
whenever Heritage gets here.
And actually, by the way, lacrosse starts. This week.
I was just about to say that. I talked to Tommy Heber tonight at the baseball game, and May River boys did get in. Here, let's get the brackets up.
Brackets up on the high school league website.
Yeah, I want to see this.
Yep, I'm working on the brackets right here.
Yeah, like you said, when Heritage comes around, like everyone knows, it's go time. Yeah, it's time to go,
baby. A little breather for spring break, and then we're getting after it. All right, so here's what we got. Christchurch.
Now, just a reminder, this is 1A through 4A.
Correct. I'm trying to get it over to the.
Pull this up, yeah.
I was not letting me.
And then, all right, so I got right here. May River is the 7th seed. They go up against Oceanside. Hilton Head makes this the 4th seed. They will host Waccamaw tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh.
So we got some local playoff.
That's an interesting one.
So
that's an interesting one.
Hey Max, let's Team Lowco. Let's get over there tomorrow and watch some playoff lacrosse.
If I didn't have to work, I would have said yes, absolutely.
It's a night game. You work at night? You work at night?
Yeah, dude. I work till 10 o'clock tomorrow, man.
Bummer.
That stinks.
Well, it's May River at Oceanside. Yeah, Waccamaw at Hilton Head. So there you go.
Yep.
That should be a good one. That should be a really good one, actually.
Yep.
Ooh. God, man, if I didn't have to work,
the winner
so
gets
many
opportunities.
Yeah.
And then looking at the girls bracket. There we go. Hilton Head at Philip Simmons, and that's our.
Oh wow!
Ouch!
Ooh.
Oh man!
Yeah.
Ouch! Tough seeding.
It is tough seeding.
5-4. They just missed out the whole game. That's tough.
Oh, that was tonight. That was tonight, boys.
What, Philip Simmons Hilton Head?
Yeah, let's see if we got a score.
Man, they sneak up on
Philip Simmons 8-7.
Oh man!
7.
Well, just like that. Just like that. Good Lord.
It was tied 5-5 at halftime.
Man, that's tough because that's a really good team. It just hurts to see it end so quickly.
Yeah.
I feel bad for those players. But
now you hope Hilton Head boys and May River boys can find a way to advance past the first round.
I think Hilton Head has a solid opportunity, especially playing at home. It should be a great match against Waccamaw. And then,
it should be.
Then you're playing with house money. If you win that game, got to go up to the 1 seed Lucy Beckham, where they got all the pressure. So win this one, and you you never know what can happen when you go out on the road. But yeah, that's a pretty good Lucy Beckham squad. I think Hilton Head gets it done. I expect it to be a close one, and the Seahawks come through. But I'm pumped to get back over there to the Nest tomorrow and cover some spring playoff sports. We're already there, folks. It's playoff season.
Wow. Yeah, came on fast. Yeah, I was trying to look and see Waccamaw if they had any common opponents with, if they played anybody in our area, but they haven't. But they've lost their last three, lost 8-7 to Socastee, 13-6 to Bishop England, and 18-4 to Oceanside, which two of those three are really good teams.
And I believe May River's playing Oceanside first round, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oof.
Tough draw.
At Oceanside as well. That's a tough one. Yeah. Oh.
It is.
Hey man, playoffs are here. Holy crap.
Now Bishop England did beat Waccamaw pretty bad, and they beat Hilton Head 10-9. So.
Oh yeah, good point.
Yeah, that was a good one. That was a good. It was a
so if you're going
Hilton
on
Head,
the transit property, Hilton Head looks good.
Yeah, and that was a great matchup between them and battling Bishops. That we had a rain delay midway through, and then Bishops won it by just a goal, I believe. So I think Hilton Head's well positioned. Yeah, that was a classic. But Donnybrook, I think Hilton Head gets it done. I think it's going to be a very close contest until the last few minutes, and maybe we'll see a dramatic finish. I don't know, but I'm pumped. I'm pumped. There's nothing better than when it gets to win or go home mentality. When you know any game could be your last, you just give it a little bit extra. And I remember Hilton Head, a couple years ago hosted the playoff game against AC Flora. They were down 3. They tied it. They scored 3 straight to tie it, and then they lost with like 20 seconds to go. So hopefully they're on the other end of that this time and pick up a win.
Yeah, baby. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how this team does, because it's definitely not easy to get the top 4 seed and earn the right to host a playoff game. I mean, they certainly delivered a strong regular season, and now you gotta use what you've accomplished, and hopefully they'll get a good outing just in spring break. But I'm sure families and hopefully some lacrosse fans will be there. They used to play the lacrosse games on the lacrosse field, but now they play them all on the football field, which is cool because there's more seating there, just a cooler venue to host these games, and they do a good job with just the overall field presentation, and just the field maintained really well, and just it's a fun environment to watch a lacrosse game. I hope they have a good turnout because it is Heritage time. It's spring break, so a lot of people might be away. The other tradition, which is kind of funny, they always sing the national anthem together, like the team. They always it's a bonding ritual, I guess you could say. Yeah,
they sing along.
Yes, it's cool.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah. But I'm pumped to see Brady Saba. He's had 49 goals in 14 games, 33 assists. He has continued to turn up the offense this year. Olander has been one of the pleasant surprises as a junior. And then how about Waldron, the freshman, contributing as well as this year's gone on with 9 goals. Michael Waldron. So that's kind of a sleeper guy to look out for. If you're looking at who could come out and put on a good performance in a playoff game like this. But I think it goes through Saba. He's the senior, he's the veteran, he's the guy you need to make plays and score goals, and that you're going to have to look to if you're Hilton High in this game. But yeah, I think they've done a good job building up some more depth as you go into this game, and then you just got to trust your goalie Bennett to make some saves and give yourself a chance and find a way to get the job done and advance on. So I'm excited. Playoff lacrosse is a ton of fun, and it's cool to be back here on the island.
Yeah, man. Look forward to hearing your reports tomorrow night from the playoff matchup.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of a slow week. Otherwise, that JP2 Carleton prep game was pretty good though.
Yeah.
I was going to pull up some stats on that because it was a Donnybrook, 9-8. It was 2-1 through 4 Carleton, and then each team scored 4 in the 5th. Then JP2 tied it up with 1 in the 6th. Carleton took the lead with 2 in the 7th. JP2 won it with 3 in the bottom of the 7th. While in Sheffield went the distance on the mound. Carleton made 8 errors behind him, so he allowed 9 runs, but only 2 earned. Walked 6. So JP2 got her done. Do the Chickens have large talents? Putnam 2 for 3 with an RBI. Mishko, there's 2 Mishkos in here. I don't know which one's which, but the S Mishko at the bottom of the lineup went 2 for 2 with a double, 2 runs and 2 RBIs. Heathcott had a couple RBIs. Ross Putnam went 5. They credit him the win, but he doesn't get it. DeWig gets the win. 2 innings. What else? Sheffield also had 2 for 4 with a double and 3 RBIs. Phillips was 3 for 3 with an RBI for Carleton. Just good little non-conference game.
Yeah,
solid
victory. That's cool to see. These, and that's you're trying to build yourselves for what you're going to see in the future with these conference games, and it's a nice opportunity to see some different squads, because that's what it takes to win the playoffs, especially in these baseball, softball games, and just overall, these teams you play are teams you don't see in most of the regular season, and then once you go into it, you kind of have to adjust on the fly, and you have good scouting in order to succeed this time of year. So these non-conference games can be helpful both ways. Getting ready to go back into conference or to region play, and then getting ready for the postseason. So it's definitely an important experience as you.
Yeah, they just ended it in a tie at JP2. Maybe they ran out of light. It was just tied after 7.
Yeah, possible.
It was getting late. I don't know. I don't think they have lights. So that's probably what happened. Mullen for JP2 with 9 strikeouts. John Ropout says, yeah, they ran out of light. Stivender for only 4 strikeouts for Stivender. So credit to JP2 for battling at the plate. Because she's pretty tough. Penske for JP2. Shelby was 2 for 3, couple RBIs. Heathcott, I don't know her first name offhand, 2 for 3 with a double and 2 RBIs. Stivender was 2 for 4 with an RBI. Ava Murray, another huge game for Carleton, 2 for 3, triple homer, 4 RBIs. She's been swinging it. Good little catcher. Ellie Heathcott. I was like, I knew it wasn't Emily, but I knew it was close to that, and I wasn't sure, so I wasn't going to guess. Thank you, Mr. Ruff.
Yeah.
So so just some kind of fun little non-conference stuff this week. Not anything that's real high stakes, but just kids playing ball. It was fun out at May River tonight. It was good atmosphere. Nobody was too upset about who won or lost. Just kind of kids playing ball. And obviously you wanted to win. They were trying. Oh, and Philip Simmons tried. I saw this great trick play on Instagram the other day and sent it to one of our pitchers' dads, where a high school kid, I think, he stepped off and then jump turned and arm faked to second. And
I've seen this.
Like it was an overthrow. The center fielder broke like he was going to get it, and the guy took off, and the pitcher just chased him down and tagged him out because the pitcher never threw the ball.
I did see that.
It was great. Philip Simmons tried it tonight when the bases were loaded, or maybe when it was first and second. But Jordan Reed was on second, and he did not bite. But the Philip Simmons pitcher absolutely tried it, and I'm like, that dude saw the same Instagram I saw and just tried that trick play. It was great. But I said share that. That was fun. I love baseball.
Yeah.
It's so much fun.
So good.
I love it. I love
It's on my
it.
TV right now. It's on my TV all the time this time of year. It's just always there for you.
It really is.
We went out and threw a couple of the kids some BP tonight. Me and another mom took our kids out and threw them some BP and hit them some fly balls. I got to use one of those AccuBats, one of those like tennis racket looking things that are for hitting fungos. It was an adjustment. But it's pretty cool.
It is cool.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's worth $80, but it's pretty cool. It was fun to use. But yeah, I love baseball. I'm looking forward to some playoff baseball. I'm looking forward to tomorrow night. I'm going to try to get over to May River, though. I haven't seen that Beaufort team in person this season. Actually, I saw him for a couple innings at Bluffton. Or that's not true, but I want to see them again before the playoffs. And I just like being out there around two good baseball teams to have a good little rivalry and might talk a little trash and play some good ball against each other.
And that rivalry will continue into next season as well. So it's gonna be so much fun next season with those two teams facing each other for region status.
Now, you didn't tell us there was controversy the other night. I heard about some controversy where they initially called a catcher's interference, and Will Korn was awarded first place.
Oh yeah,
then they got together and ruled foul ball and brought him back and struck out.
Wow.
Yeah, I kind of spaced about that one. Sorry, I forgot about that. That did happen. I'm trying to remember when the game that happened.
It was later in the game. The seventh inning.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was with Korn, I think. It was.
Yeah, it was. I was watching on Game Changer, and I saw him on first. I saw they had first and second, and then I looked back, and he was batting again, and he struck out. And I was like, "What in the world happened?"
Yeah, so
I got the scoop.
So here's
now I know.
Yeah, so what happened was basically they called catcher's interference. Who was it? I believe Beaufort's head coach came out, made the argument that he hit the ball first before he hit the catcher's mitt.
I don't think it matters.
I guess it did apparently because the umpires decided to change the rule and send him back to the plate and end up striking out. Sorry, I forgot about that. Now that you mentioned it, I had to remember that for a second. It was such a quick controversy too, because then once they changed the rule, the May River coach came out. He had an argument, and that was pretty much it. Yeah. So like they gave an argument, but they couldn't really change the minds after that. It was weird. They made the argument that he hit the ball before he hit the catcher's mitt, which I don't know if like there was much of an argument there, but apparently there was. I don't know how they were able to change that call. They may have seen something that saw something that I didn't from behind home plate, but I couldn't imagine what it was.
Yep.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine how he convinced that argument. I like on the broadcast, I was like, well, maybe he did hit the ball first, but even then, like it's still I still thought it was a catcher's interference.
I didn't think it mattered.
Yeah,
but I'm not 100% on that, but I thought I was, but now I'm balking on that.
Yeah, I don't remember what it.
I think as long as the batter is in a legal position, like both feet in the batter's box, making a legal swing.
Well, the other thing was
it's catcher's interference, regardless of when it happens. I think.
The other thing was it's Huddy. It was Huddy behind home plate too for Beaufort. So you would have thought he knows well enough to know if he can make an argument, or at least like put his hands up in the air and say, "Hey, come on, he touched the ball first before he hit my glove." But he didn't make that argument. Like he didn't say anything. He just stood and watched his Will walk down to first base. Like he didn't make an argument until Beaufort head coach came out and made that argument, and the umpires decided to reverse the rule, or reverse the call. I guess.
I don't think May River was too pleased.
They weren't. They really weren't. Yeah, and they had a decent crowd at the game too, so you could hear because we were sitting.
We were all behind you.
We were sitting next to that whole crowd. Like that's where we were, or more so standing. Because if we sat down, we couldn't actually see what was going on during the game because that fence level is like that backstop is so high up. But anyway, it was a weird controversy, and I forgot. I forgot that happened. I know. I forgot that happened last night. There was so much that went on in that game that I completely forgot about it.
Nah, it's all good. I mean, it may, you never know if it impacted the game or not. And that's sort of the blessing and the curse of it. You'll never know. The varsity sponsors of LowcoSports keep us going. DDS Web Design builds, hosts, and maintains websites for businesses and nonprofits to get results. So if you need to get found online so you can do more and think bigger, go to DDSHHI.com. Parker Law Group serves legal needs across Colleton, Hampton, and Jasper counties. They've been doing that for years, and they jumped on with us this year to help us continue to expand our coverage in those counties and shine a light on more deserving teams and student athletes. And we definitely got to get to the farm soon, boys, for some baseball. Reverence Wrestling Club is the official wrestling sponsor of LowcoSports and the presenting sponsor of the Lowco Grind. They've got a big event coming up this weekend. Got some free clinics as well as a big tournament where you can qualify for the national duels. So, get in there. Get into Reverence Wrestling Club. Take your skills on the mat to the next level. And Dr. Ambrose Cole, the official chiropractor of LowcoSports. You can find him at Rooted Living Wellness in Bluffton, and he'll get you feeling right, mind, body, and spirit. That's Dr. Ambrose Cole. Those are our varsity sponsors. Gentlemen, what else you want to talk about? Not much else to talk about, really.
Yeah, it's kind of a lull in the action before we get to Heritage. Actually, before we go off the topic of Heritage, there was a piece of news that we didn't talk about that came on my radar that I forgot to mention on Monday. But the woman at Congress reached out to me recharged the Sarge initiative. So a couple of names on the PGA Tour: Lucas Glover, Webb Simpson, Harris English, and Adam Scott, helping raise funds for the Sergeant Jasper Golf Club, which is cool. It's going to be supported by Congress, and it's trying to really lower the barrier of golf to kids in Jasper County. And the funding's going to help restore the greens. It's going to help other improvements on the course, and just strengthen the game of golf and the connections you can make with it with the young people here. And so players have been making donations for each birdie and eagle they get during the tournaments, and then the Heritage Class Foundation has been matching some of that, trying to meet the $200,000 fundraising goal. So really cool initiative. And Lucas Glover, South Carolinian, spearheading the cause, which is awesome.
Yeah, and they raised $100,000 already. They kicked this thing off when they had the South Carolina Junior Golf Association match play out there last year. Nice. We went out and covered some of that out at Congaree. They kicked it off then. They raised $100,000 in support of the initial phase of restorations, and then their goal this year is $200,000. And it's Lucas has partnered up with. He's like matching, I guess, or the Heritage Classic Foundation is matching the birdies for charity for this.
Nice.
20% of every player contribution over 1,000. So, and the players are donating. Lucas is heading it up to get players to donate for each birdie and eagle they make, 100 per birdie and 500 per eagle. So, cheer for those birdies and eagles, and know that they have a lot of charitable benefits, because birdies for charity raises a lot of money for a lot of charities. But every time you cheer for those birdies and eagles, you're also cheering for some money raised for various different initiatives. So very cool.
Yeah, I love some of the work. I love the work that Congaree does. It's so fun to look at that. I do have to say though, God, I want them to bring back a PGA tournament there.
Yeah, there will be more events there, but I do think they sort of recognize that it's probably not the kind of venue for like an annual tour stop. It's more, but it has been really cool for these one-off events. Like the CJ Cup and the Palmetto. I think you'll see more. I think we've been told in the past that they really aspire to like a Ryder Cup or a President's Cup is really like their dream goal. And I think there's a lot of logistical stuff that has to happen between now and then, a lot of like infrastructure. But I do think that's sort of the master plan. And the idea was, let's get the PGA Tour on the grounds and tell us where we're deficient, what we need to do, where we need to
it would be
to be able to.
Cool. Ooh, it would be cool if they hosted a U.S. Open.
Yeah.
Although I don't see it
amazing.
happening. It would be cool, but I just don't know if they have enough.
I mean, that's the kind of event they aspire to, though. I mean, you're not that far off. Like that's what they think they have there. And maybe
the problem I think part of the problem
there's
is
no hotels. That's
where I was going. That's exactly where I was going. They don't have any real accommodations anywhere nearby. I mean, Richland's a very small town.
What they do have is enough members to build like a resort.
That's true. That's very true.
It's a resort. Like, yeah, I mean, the members have enough money. You know, like there's ways that if they can make it work on a spreadsheet, they can,
I do believe. Yeah, I do believe. Like, I like the goals that they've set out. Like, I do believe like there's going to be a day where we could potentially have a Ryder Cup at. Hungary. I
gotta dream big, right? These are largely people who are like CEOs and CFOs of Fortune 500 companies and things like that.
People with deep pockets.
They don't really have small dreams, and they don't really take no for an answer. They find a way, and that's what they want to do. So, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if 20 years down the road or whatever, they've found some solution for accommodation and they've built out some infrastructure and they're ready to host something on that scale. Because the golf course is phenomenal. I mean, it holds up. It holds up to whatever event you want to put on it. It's going to be able to live up to it.
Yeah,
it's pretty phenomenal. So, anyway, good job bringing that up, Wes. Because it had also slipped off my radar. Although I was definitely going to try to talk to Lucas about it this week if I get a chance. Lowco Booster Club, Court Lifestyle Pros, Daniel and Debbie Court are with Charter One Realty. They are Lowco natives who want to bring you home to Hilton Head Island. I know they'll be out at the Heritage this week. Big golf guy. He's definitely going to be out there. Revive Rehab, Women's Health and Pelvic Floor Physical Therapy. If you've had a baby and you need to get feeling right, go see Dr. Allie and Dr. Jen. They can help you out. Eagle Creations has promotional items and custom apparel as well as custom gift baskets and much more. You can go see what all they can do for you in their showroom on Argent Boulevard at Eagle Creations. Jay's Barbershop, the place to be in Ridgeland, whether you need a haircut or just some spicy conversation. You can go in there and get an earful and get your ears lowered at Jay's Barbershop. And Barefoot Floor Care of the Lowcountry, Chris Odom and his guys will get your floors so clean your feet will thank you. Great dude. And a big supporter of LowcoSports. He's always checking in on our live streams. But you guys want to shout out anybody tonight?
Yeah. Well, not much to choose from. But I'm going to go back to yesterday and pick my boy Forest Ferry, Patrick Henry. With a really excellent performance on the mound, 10 Ks and a complete game win over Carleton Prep. And so, what a legend he has been at that school. Winning that baseball championship and coming back around to win football. And these guys want to run this thing back. I can't wait to get back on the farm and eat a pulled pork sandwich and watch this team play. And they may not be happy if I'm back because of what happened last year, but I'll bring my own car and I will make sure to stay until the end of the game. But hey, it's all good. But Forrest, he's the guy, and Hugh and Forrest. I mean, it's just really hard to go against those guys when they're playing the postseason setting. Just you can't you can't doubt them, and I think they're gonna show well for themselves again in this final.
I'll throw an unsung hero in there for you, and that's their battery mate, Nathan Corley. That dude, he's kind of a heart and soul type guy. He's a leader, born leader, and does yeoman's work behind the plate, and he's a tough kid. I like that team a lot. Max, you got a shout out tonight, buddy?
Oh, it's so tough to choose because it's not a lot to choose from. I'll I kind of got to go with May River Sharks as a whole. Their baseball program tonight had a tough loss against Beaufort. Obviously, some controversy that someone decided to bring up tonight. Rough game. Well, I guess not a really rough game. It was a good game yesterday against Beaufort. It just didn't go the way they wanted it to go. They get the bounce back walk off tonight against what is a really good Philip Simmons team. So hats off to May River. The team as a whole played really well. Just a good team overall. And on that note with Patrick Henry, I still haven't been out to the farm yet, and I would love to do a playoff game. I feel like that'd be a great first experience to go out to the farm and do a playoff game. So hopefully, some point in the playoffs, in the next few weeks.
They're looking pretty good.
Time for a live show at Lester's.
I'll go a little deeper on your May River shout out tonight. And one thing I like is they started a lot of guys who haven't been starting. I love that. Tonight wasn't about winning necessarily. It was about developing. And they got some guys some starts, and they stepped up. Dylan Seaman was 2 for 3 in a rare start. That was solid. But the guy I wanted to shout out really was Micah Morgan. They were down 3-1. He came in and pitched 3 innings, no hits, 1 walk, 1 unearned run, and 7 strikeouts in relief, and allowed them to kind of claw back in it and then win it at the end. And then the other one is Joe Schroeder, who went 2 for 4 tonight. He was 4 for 4 last night. He was 2 for 2 in the previous game against Colleton County, and he was 2 for 3 in the game before that. So I believe he's like 10 for his last 15 or something like that.
Heating up at the right time.
Absolute tear. Dude is on a tear. They got him out twice.
Oh, yeah.
Miracle right now. But Joe Schroeder, he's swinging it very well. So there's a couple shout outs for you. What are you boys getting into tomorrow night? Wes is going to go check out the playoff lacrosse. Max has to work. Bummer.
Yeah.
We also have USCB softball tomorrow afternoon, right? 2 and 4.
Yeah, Coker.
We do
make it to that series, but it's the last one at home, so hopefully they can make good use of it. And obviously they're all but eliminated from the playoffs, but you got to play for pride at this point and try to end your home season on a high note. So good luck to the lacrosse St. Sharks, and then
slay the Coker Cobras.
Slay
the Cobras. I forgot to look at the schedule. There is a huge rivalry tomorrow night between Thomas Hayward and Patrick Henry.
There is.
That should be interesting. I'm excited to see how that game goes. Hopefully we
can
get some clutches.
Thomas Hayward ain't bad, and they've been swinging it real good lately. But Patrick Henry beat him 5-0 the first game, but it was 2-0 going to the 7th, and then Patrick Henry scored 3. The young
and then
kid
we get really well. Yeah. And then the V for May River rematch, which should be a ton of fun.
Yeah.
That's
there's not a lot on this state, but it's
they're a couple of good ones though.
It's fairly heavy hitting, and hopefully we can get reports from the report from the May River Lacrosse as well, since we're into the playoffs. So.
Yeah,
good time.
Important matchups. You got local and local rivalry. You got playoff lacrosse action here and on the road, and then we have some track and field as well going on. So Cane Bay and Northwood Prep. So a lot going on.
Indeed. Thanks to Brian Riedfeld for coming in to talk heritage with us. Thanks to Brady Satcha for the report from Harbortown. Thanks to all of our sponsors who make it all possible. And thanks most of all to y'all for showing up to listen or watch. We appreciate you. And that's why we show up every night to tell you what's going on the Lowco sports scene. We'll be back tomorrow night, 10 o'clock. We'll have reports from Harbortown once again and report on all these games we just told you about. Should be a good night. High school lacrosse playoffs, some good baseball and softball matchups, as well as college softball from USCB. Maybe we can get Bracken on for a report. So should be a good time. We'll see you tomorrow night at 10. For Max Arraj and Wes Kerr, I'm Justin Jarrett. Until next time, y'all, Go Lowco.
The Lowco Sports Lowdown podcast is a production of Lowco Media LLC and LowcoSports.com, an independent media outlet providing grassroots local sports coverage in the South Carolina Lowcountry. We are sustained by community support from sponsors and patrons like you. Get in the game with a monthly pledge of $1 or more at patreon.com/LowcoSports to keep us going and growing. Go Lowco.